Well, this is exciting. I've got a ticket to a voyage to America. It's April 15th, 1912. What could go wrong?
The worst thing that could go wrong, an accident turned into one of history's most iconic tragedies.
And this immersive exhibit takes us into every part of this story. This is the grand staircase, which we've all seen in the James Cameron movie, and it sets the tone for the luxury that was part of the Titanic experience.
Absolutely. The opulence of the ship of dreams. No expense was spared. White Star Line wanted Titanic to be its premier experience. It sacrificed speed just to give luxury to its passengers.
And there were more than one class, of course. So right next to us is the first class cabin. That's a recreation there. And that was one experience. You had a heated swimming pool. You had a gymnasium. But then, of course, there were the second class passengers.
Right, second class passengers and steerage. So among the celebrities and the who's who of Edwardian society, you also have this class of passengers that are reaching out for the American dream for the very first time.
Now, of course, there is a class story here with the Titanic because the first class passengers were so much more likely to survive.
Yeah, and unfortunately, those themes tend to be relevant as well today. So when we talk about what keeps Titanic so interesting, it's all of these threads that you pull on that are still so relevant in modern society.
So 1,500 plus souls perished. 2 o'clock in the morning, 2, 3, 4, and of those, many of them just couldn't fit into the lifeboats. There was enough lifeboats legally for the maritime rules that existed at that time, but there weren't enough seats for every passenger.
Correct. So the rules and regulations have become outdated. Passenger ships got larger and larger, but the requirement for lifeboats did not change. So the other part too is lifeboats were never considered for life-saving measures. It was to ferry passengers off the ship in case the ship had trouble.
In this exhibit, you not only have all these immersive elements, but you have actual artifacts, which is so fascinating for people who love shipwreck stories and who love Titanic information, because how many people have seen with their own eyes the shipwreck itself?
Oh, just a very limited number of people in the entire world have ever had the opportunity, the privilege to be able to go and explore the wreck site. So what you're going to see in this Titanic and Immersive Voyage is you're going to see artifacts from Titanic, from Carpathia, and also from her sister ship Olympic. You'll see those in the exhibition, as well as full-scale reproductions of portions of the ship.
And what many people don't know is that I think at least one of those ships traveled before the Titanic safely.
Absolutely. Well, Titanic was an accident that was never supposed to happen. It was not conceived. And though we have the luxury of judging history from knowing what happened, at the time, the rules and regulations, it was not conceived that this could have ever happened.
Well, this exhibit really makes you think about that. And so I want to ask you a little bit about the captain. Was he a hero? Was he a villain? In this exhibit, you have an immersive recreation of the bridge area where Captain Smith was steering the ship. Now, we know that he was told, hey, there's an iceberg. And now, in hindsight, we know that he should have made some different choices. But at the time, he was doing the best with the information that he had.
Well, it's very much like, again, a relevant theme today. Information is only as good as what you do with it. There were many messages of ice in the field, but it was an unprecedented situation. And this talks about leadership and making decisions in situations that have never happened before. You do the best you can. You got a 50-50 shot to get it right. In this case, this chain of events combined in such a way that it led to tragic loss of life.
Does everyone who comes in get a ticket?
Absolutely. So when you come into the exhibition, you get a boarding pass with the name of a passenger, their age, and why they were traveling. And as you go through the exhibition, you'll conclude in the memorial gallery. Then you'll find out whether or not the passenger survived or perished. So
it's really not just about learning the story of the Titanic, but also remembering over 1,500 souls who perished there.
Absolutely. The goal of Titanic and Immersive Voyage is to put you inside the story. It's different. It's to take the words off the paper and off the screen and help make an emotional connection with you in the story.
And you have a virtual reality element, which I think is so interesting because one of the most fascinating aspects of the Titanic is just the scope. This is a 52-ton ship.
Yes, so the immersive, the VR experience gives people the opportunity to experience the wreck site and explore. And as we mentioned, there's only a handful of people in the world have ever had that privilege.
Well, you are open here every day but Tuesdays. Old Town and the Galleria. What's the best way to get tickets?
You want to go to expo-titanic.com and either choose a Scottsdale or Phoenix Market. That'll get you here. You want to visit us at 5th and North Scottsdale. Take the escalators down to the box office.
Thank you so much for being our guide.
Thank you so much for having me.